Please welcome to the stage Steve Forbes and Jessica Simpson, founder and chief operating officer, Jessica Simpson Collection, philanthropist, singer, and actress.
This is exciting.
Well, for me, it's a little bit unnerving.
I can't imagine that.
I'm accustomed to doing focus groups, not interviews. This is sometimes somewhat even more unnerving than doing a presidential debate. Hopefully, this will go better than my presidential debates, which is why I'm here instead of a presidential library. But it is a great honor to have you here. And one of the most astonishing things about your career is that there have been plenty of entertainers over the years who've tried to go into fashion and accessories. And they either flame out after a brief success, flop from the beginning, or have a very, very narrow focus. You, on the other hand, over 30 different product categories, over $1 billion in sales, continuing to expand, coming up with fresh new ideas each year while you're doing your expansion. So if you had to describe your business in 140 characters, you can do more, you're entitled, but how would you describe it?
My business is the heart of who I am. It truly is from a place within. Like, I want to make every woman feel confident in what they're wearing and in their shoes. I do feel like we're very fashion forward, but we also listen to the consumer. And I mean, I have been every size on the planet, and I feel like I understand women, and I just know how to dress them. I know there's all different kinds, you know? There's life in the whole entire world beyond LA and New York. And I do understand the middle America and their mindset. I think I do. I mean, I'm trying to at least.
Well, clearly when you reach $1 billion, you're doing something right. And just a quick question, why is it that so many brands in clothing assume, and I get it in our family, we have 5 daughters and friends, they don't seem to go above size 2. What's with that? Why do they all want to make you look like skeletons?
I told you, I think beyond New York and LA.
One of the things you've said that counts for your success, maybe you could talk about a little bit, is consistent image. You know what you are presenting. You have good stuff, but it's reasonably price point, but you go for all ages, as you say, all sizes. Mm-hmm. Describe what goes through your mind as you see what you put out in the marketplace.
When I'm in approval meetings or inspiration meetings, I think of what I want my Nana to wear and what she would feel comfortable in. And I also think of my little 2-year-old Maxwell and what she would be adorable in. And then, you know, it crosses all ages, and I try and focus on what makes a woman feel beautiful and the integrity of that. And sometimes it's a really great pair of high heels.
You've said that in terms of your clothing and products that you try to have that fun and flair and fun details, mm-hmm. a little bit of lightness. How do you go about doing that? How do you get re-inspired each year? You're not quite like a restaurant business where each day you got to come up with your inventory is gone, but every few months, every year, you've got to refreshen the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I truly remain inspired by each and every woman that I meet. My mother is a huge part of my business. She is my mentor throughout all of this, and she's been styling me since I came out of the womb. and I trust her with my business, and just being a part of it with her and all of our design teams. It's not just me, it's not just my ideas, and I think that it's really important to humble yourself and really understand that you would never have the business that you have if it weren't for all the people that are helping you get there. And you know, style is always evolving, but we do know what our Macy's customer likes. We know what our Dillard's customer likes. We know, you know, we know where women go to shop and what they're buying, and a lot of what we do is the same, just on a new color trend, but it's still the same design aesthetic. But we come up with all kinds of ideas. I mean, I can be inspired by, you know,
One of the
a
things
fly
you
on the
do,
wall,
is
and
you-
do a graphic print T-shirt out of a fly, and somehow it turns out cute, and people like it, and it's a bug. You know, why not?
Well, one of the things you said like to do is buy vintage pieces,
I do,
antiques.
I
And
do.
get it. Can you describe a little bit the inspiration you get from that? What that?
We always take trips. We'll go to Paris and we'll do our inspiration shopping. But I love to go into vintage stores. I love to go into vintage record stores. I'm inspired by art and music. I love and appreciate every person out there, whether it be a musician or, you know, I collect vintage records, and so I think album art is always a cool way to be inspired as well.
Talking about album art, you're probably going to keep the value of that better than what the stock market did today, but another subject for another time. But one of the things you said in terms of trying to come each year with things that people like, and when they hear your name, yes, you're famous, but it brings a smile to people's faces because they know the products have that element of fun in them, while being also sophisticated. And you said, we like to see the trends that are coming. We're not too far behind, but we are behind. In other words, you don't try to be a trendsetter, you try to see where the thing is going and then build on that.
Absolutely. Trends are definitely something that come and go, and that's trend. If I just stayed on trend, I don't think that would make my business as successful as it is. I mean, it's not. We don't do as quick of a turnaround. We try and stick with trends that we think that will outlast throughout the years. So we're very specific on that design part. We don't want to be like, if we're too fashion forward, I don't think that a lot of people would understand. And so, as relatable as we can, you know, as I can possibly be, and accessible and affordable, who needs a trend?
Well, what you say gets to one of the things, in addition to a consistent image, is you referred to the trust in the Simpson brand, that when you come up with something, people know they can trust you. And I remember years ago when Brooks Brothers was having a very rough time, we met with Ralph Lauren, who once worked for Brooks Brothers back in the day, or at least admired it. And he said, with an entity like that, or any entity, he said, people who go in there, they're not maybe a fashion aficionado, certainly not men, but they have to trust you, that they can buy from you and you're not going to let them down.
Absolutely.
And you seem to recognize that. You don't want to be edgy, so you might end up embarrassing your customers. They have to feel comfortable that you're going to be their friend.
I think that my brand has surpassed my name and my celebrity. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, which is, I can't even believe it's gone that fast. But, you know, it's so exciting, and it's evolving all throughout the years and all the seasons and we love doing everything from color palettes, and I mean, we are a part of everything because I want every woman to feel comfortable in what what they are going to be buying. That is very important. They know when they buy a Jessica Simpson shoe that they're going to be able to dance all night long. Or I've had flight attendants come up to me and say, I have to wear Jessica Simpson shoes because they're the only ones that are comfortable for me to stand on the whole flight. You know, I mean, I listened. I think that that's important too, is like really just listening to your customer and to the people that are giving you the feedback, whether it's criticism or you know, like honoring and being people like, thank you so much. I met the cutest guy last night because of that dress that I wore. You know, I listen to all of it.
She's always selling, yes, we make note of that. But you have been quoted, and obviously you are very hands-on, but you alluded to a few minutes ago that you have to have a team. And so often when people go into they achieve celebrity and then they try to do something like you've done, they flounder because they don't know how to pick people. They don't know how to stay on top of it, and the thing gets away from them. How do you stay on top of it? How do you build a team? How do you bring in the talent? How do you have systems where you can learn to trust that talent and not be betrayed and find that something was done in your name that you didn't want done?
I am a family girl. My whole family has always been a part of my business. We all picked up from Texas as my dad being a youth minister, and we moved out to LA to make it happen. And we did. I feel like I was always taught to just believe that success is right around the corner. And I truly feel successful, but there's still so much left to do, and I think that in not stopping or thinking that, okay, well, wow, that was great. Now I'm done. You know, just always looking forward and looking for a new adventure and staying authentic to who I am and to what my brand is. I think that the team around me respects that I give them the credit, and they want to work for me. They want the line to succeed because they believe in me. And so to surround myself with family and the people that work on the collection, it's the heart of my business. And I appreciate each and every one of them, and I would never, ever take the credit.
Apropos of that, as you scale the business up, are there, when you look around, or your mother, whom you work closely with, that's quite something, look around, are there lessons out there, either, gee, that was successful, that's something we can learn from, or mistakes that others made, oh, we've got to avoid that as you
I think
get
we
bigger
can
and bigger?
always learn from other people's mistakes. I mean, being in the public eye for so long, I've made a ton of mistakes, and everybody knows about them. But I look at my mistakes and any sort of failure that I have gone through as a lesson to be learned, and I work through it.
What's been your most surprising business lesson, either positive and negative? You know,
my most surprising business lesson? That I don't have to do it all on my own. I definitely, I didn't realize how in control of my life I was, I think. And I didn't ever realize how determined I actually am. And I shock myself all the time. Like, I look back and I'm like, wow, this happened. Like, you did this, Jess. Like, I think it's about finding like that inspiration within yourself constantly. And really, for me, I had to get to know myself. I think that's what makes a woman successful, is when she knows who she is and she is willing to make changes and to give up control or take control. It's a give and take.
So what's next on the business side? Is it just expansion, or do you have something
This is a
big?
lifestyle brand. We got more life to live here. We're about to launch Home, which is extremely exciting. So people will be sleeping on bedspreads that we've created, which is so fun because I love interior design. And then we're about to launch Baby, which I definitely know a lot about. You know, those onesies that are easier to get on and off, trust me, I know which ones those are. And I hope to make it as fashionable and as cute and, you know, and as accessible, because when you're a new mom, changing a onesie 14 times a day is not fun.
You alluded to earlier the weight, and it seemed to surprise the paparazzi and the tabloids that you become pregnant and you might put on weight, and it might not always be easy to lose. It's amazing.
Oh, I think that actually in the press I've been fat for like 8 years or something.
A couple of things on that. How have you learned to develop a thick skin, or at least learn how to deflect this? Because if you took it to heart, I mean, it would destroy you. How do you learn to cope with that?
If I took what, you know, people's opinions about me or whatever sells magazines, you know, if I took all of that to heart, I would not be sitting up here talking to you and to all of these beautiful people in the room. I'm good at brushing that stuff off. It's not to say that it hasn't not made me cry. I try as hard as I can to not listen to it and to not read it, but we are human. And you do know what people are talking about, and you do know that the opinions that people form, but I think that I just don't have that opinion about myself, so it's easier to not listen to it. I think that if I were to actually listen to it and take it in, it would destroy me. But the fact that I can listen to it and it makes me, you know, want to be a role model for all the women out there that feel that they have been in that same place, whether it's, you know, a teenager in school being bullied or, you know, a lawyer at work, you know,
one of the things
people are talking bad about. Like, I mean, I feel like I can relate to, all those women can relate to me.
One of the things you seem to have demonstrated is turning the tables. When you were hit for the weight, you did a TV thing on what is beauty in various cultures.
I did.
Take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. Then you said something very interesting about the weight. You said, I got so much scrutiny for putting on extra pounds, but I think the decision not to make myself anorexic was actually great for branding, because when you're really, really skinny, not everybody can relate to you.
It's kind of true, right? I mean, I have put on pounds. I fluctuate. I'm a woman.
Guys do it too, believe me.
I definitely go up and down with my weight, and I'm very honest about it, and I'm not shy about it. It's okay. So I wanted to eat a piece of cake or two, you know, like I feel like we all deserve to enjoy life, and if I'm, you know, 5 pounds heavier, if I'm 50 pounds heavier, if I'm 5 pounds lighter, I just don't think that should define who you are. But I was proud of myself throughout that time period. I was proud of myself for not going out and just doing every crash diet and trying to get as skinny as I possibly could, or just not eating. I mean, it wouldn't have been.
Well, it's like your business. You define it. You don't let others define it for you.
I do not let others define me for me.
A couple of quickies, and then we'll get to questions from the audience. You were quoted saying, "I want to sing again." Are you going to do that?
Absolutely. I started out with music. My first record deal, I was 14 years old. It is something that it's just my soul. It's my heart. And I just recently bought a new home, and it has a huge recording studio in it. that way I can be at home with my kids, which is really important. And I want them to watch me work, and I want them to be a part of you know, me making music. They are my inspiration.
And you once talked about advice you'd give to your kids, and one of the things you said, which gets to dealing with the criticism on weight and all that kind of thing, is learn to tune out the world.
Yep. Tune into yourself and tune out the world. Absolutely. I think that it's always good to go inward. That's the only way you know if you're making the right decision or not. We all have that intuition. We all have that, you know, that gut feeling, you know, and that there is some sort of God in all of us that can make us powerful.
Jessica, thank you very much. You're an inspiration.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.